Alright, podcast 1.5, due process. So due process, it's our protection against unfair government actions and laws.
Due process is one of those terms that is commonly heard, but not so commonly understood. Due process actually has two different meanings. The term can refer to procedural due process or substantive due process. Procedural due process refers to the steps that the government must follow before it takes away a person's freedom or property. At a minimum, the government must provide a person with notice and with an opportunity to be heard before taking away property or imprisoning someone. Substantive due process can be harder to define. Simply put, substantive due process refers to fundamental rights that are so important to individual liberty that the government cannot enact laws to restrict them absent a compelling reason. These rights to include the right to privacy, the right to get married, the right to raise your children, and the right to work. Both procedural due process and substantive due process are important protections from our freedom. Government violations of either type of due process are serious and may entitle you to damages.
So basically the government, if you're arrested, they have to tell you why, they have to have reason, and the government can't take rights away from you. You have two protections in the Constitution for due process. The Fifth Amendment prohibits the national government from acting in an unfair manner.
Good afternoon, Chase Sapphire. This is Stacy from Springfield.
Hate
Direct
commercials.
access to a live advisor, so you can get answers fast and get back to the beach. Chase Sapphire.
Let's check in with your friend Stephen Colbert. Stephen, what's coming up on the report tonight, my friend?
I respectively decline to answer based upon the protection afforded me by the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
I'm asking you to tease what's on your program.
I'm aware of that, John, and there is a lot of the show I would like to divulge, but upon advice of counsel, I must at this time respectively decline to...
You're taking the Fifth Amendment about a show you yourself are about to host.
Yes.
Well, Stephen, I can't say I'm not disappointed because...
I regret that, John. I'm sorry. I'm being advised that I have no opinion about that.
Oh, all right. We'll see you in a minute, Stephen.
I can't comment on
All
that,
right,
John.
Stephen.
So the Fifth Amendment protects you against the national government. The 14th protects you against state and local government. I know last year you learned the 14th Amendment provided citizenship to African Americans, but it also gives everybody due process at the state and local level. And finally, equal protection of the law. All federal and state laws applied to everyone equally. We must have the same access to the legal system. So the legal system has to treat you equally, no matter if you're man, woman, black, white, red, polka dot. We all have to have access to that legal system.
Did you get cited for the yard sale you had last weekend?
No, I did not. Why do you ask?
Because I was just told by the city that if I continue with my sale that I will be fined for breaking a city ordinance.
That's odd. I only live 3 doors down. A city worker actually stopped by and bought my old bowling ball.
Excuse me, I overheard, and that's a violation of the Equal Protection Clause, a provision in the 14th Amendment which states that a state may not deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. Therefore it falls under minimal scrutiny, failing the rational basis test. To be considered valid, there needs to be rational basis that would relate to legitimate government interest. There are 3 levels of scrutiny or tests that determine whether the law or action violates violates the Equal Protection Clause, minimal, intermediate, and strict scrutiny.
Mr. Caveman, I too have been discriminated against when I tried to file for divorce.
Miss, in order for you to file for divorce in the state of Tennessee, you must prove first that you are financially self-sufficient while your husband can simply file.
Excuse me, that would be intermediate scrutiny based on gender and legitimacy. It must be substantially related to important government objectives. Strict scrutiny is something myself has fallen victim to. Hello fellas, I'm your new roommate Russell. Whoa bro, your kind isn't allowed in this hall.
Downstairs is where you belong with the rest of the foreigners.
That is strict scrutiny, which is applied when a law or action prohibits some persons from exercising a fundamental right or classifies individuals based on suspect trait. Under strict scrutiny, the classification is necessary to promote a compelling state interest, in which me being segregated from you boys has no validation. Suspect traits, race, color, religion, national organ, citizenship. Violation of the Equal Protection Clause is when a law or action limits the liberty of some persons but not others, as you saw in all the examples in this video.
Alright guys, that was the last podcast for this unit. They need to be done by the 24th and 25th. And I'll see you in class. Thanks a lot guys. Bye.